Welcome back to the Sunny Stampin' Studio. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful tumble tiled coaster using Stampin' Up's new shimmer paints. Why don't we get started? First thing you're going to need is a tumbled tile, and I just got this from my local home hardware store. And I pre-stamped it with an angel, and this is from Stampin' Up's Holy Triptych set. You're going to need a little palette. I'm just going to slide my tile aside for a sec so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to need a little palette, and I got this from the dollar store. And you're going to need 3 reinkers, soft suede, ruby red, and blush blossom. And I'm just going to go ahead and put about a drop of reinker inside each of the wells. And I'm actually going to put a little bit less of the blush blossom because I don't want that to be very intense. Now you're going to need Stampin' Up Champagne Mist ink, so you just want to give that a good shake, and you're going to need their Frost White Shimmer paint. So give that a good mix. Now, using a paintbrush, you're just going to put a few drops of the Frost White Shimmer paint inside each of the wells. Just like that. And you can now set that aside to dry. And I'm going to open up my gold shimmer paint so that's ready to use when I need it. And we're going to be mixing that up, and I'm just going to move that to the side though and bring my tile back here. So first thing I'm going to do is grab a paintbrush and use the Champagne Mist ink from the top of my shimmer paint bottle. So you just want to dip your paintbrush in there, and you're just going to paint it over the angel's wings. Now I have found that although Stampin' Up says that this ink is good on all porous surfaces, it dries beautifully on these tumbled tiles. Now right now I'm coloring over the black stays on, and I find it'll kind of mute the intensity of the black a little bit. If you want the black to be really bold and show through, then you would be very careful just not to go over it. So you can see the angel's wings there. You're now going to grab another paintbrush, and I'm going to, in my palette here, you can see I'm mixing together the shimmer paint and the ruby red ink. Now I don't want too much on my paintbrush, so I'm just brushing that off. And then I'm going to start painting the dress of my angel. It looks so beautiful in real life, the way you can see the shimmer come through the ink color. Now again, I'm coloring over the black lines of the angel's dress just because it's a little bit faster. If I wasn't doing this for the video, I'd actually probably color in between the black lines so that you could really see them nice and strongly. Once you get going doing a technique like this, I find that it's quite addictive. It's so much fun to do, and the final result is so beautiful that you just want to keep making more and more of these. And the other thing I've noticed when you're doing this is that the ink does dry fairly quickly. There you go. I'm now going to grab another paintbrush, and I'm going to mix this shimmer white with the soft suede, and you'll find that it gives a really beautiful browny bronze color. And I'm just going to use that to paint in the angel's hair. One of the things that's really important when you're doing a technique like this that has fine lines is that you do want a very fine tip paintbrush. Now my paintbrushes are nothing special, they're just paintbrushes that I've gotten from the dollar store. And there you can see her hair is a really pretty brown color. Now the last one that I'm going to do is the blush that I mixed with the shimmer white paint. And I did this to create a little bit of a skin tone. And I'm using an extremely fine tipped brush, even finer tipped than what I used for painting in her hair and her clothing and wings. And I'm just applying a little bit of this skin colored paint to her face, like so. Once you've done that, you're now going to grab a sponge, and I'm going to use this leftover suede color. And I'm just dipping my sponge in there and picking that up. And then I'm going to grab my tile in my hand, and I'm going to start in the edge, and I'm just going to start blending this color with my sponge all around the edge of my tile. Now the nice thing is because you have paint mixed in with this reinker, you're able to pull the color around really well. It doesn't set too quickly. And I'm just making sure that I'm inking along the edge of the tile. Now your hands are going to get messy, so you are going to want to keep something damp. I'm now just going to lay this on the table and try not to shake the table too much, because it's actually a lot easier to do this if it's on a firm surface than trying to hold it in your hand. And you basically just keep working it as close around the angel as you want. Now you can see in this one I've given fairly dark coverage. I've gotten fairly close to her. So it almost looks like she's got a little halo around her. And then you do want to make sure that you take your sponge and you go around the edges of your tile. Because otherwise, if you don't, it looks kind of unfinished. And there you have it. Now all you need to do is set it aside to dry, and then you want to spray it with something like a Krylon matte spray, and then you can buy little pieces of felt, or you can get some cork and you can just stick it to the back and you can use it as a coaster. You can see as I'm angling it, the gorgeous shimmer. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and learned another fun and exciting use of Stampin' Up's new shimmer paints. I look forward to stamping with you again.